Have you guys ever tried to shoot a moving target with your bow?
Whoa, 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 hold up, back up the bus. Before we go shooting any moving targets or any targets standing still, we need to go get this Hoyt VTM set up. This year, I went and visited my good buddies at Archery, Idaho. Now, I can tell you guys, in the past, we've always used Wild Arrow out of Utah, and they do a phenomenal job. But for me and Logan, it's a little bit of a drive. Archery Idaho just switched hands a few years ago, and I can tell you, from the ownership all the way down to the techs that are working in the shop, they are phenomenal. It's important that when you leave an archery shop after getting your bow set up, that you are 100% confident in not only yourself and your abilities, but also in the equipment they help set up. If you're in the Pocatello area or even the Idaho Falls area, Archery Idaho, guys, look them up. They will do a banger job. So this year we switched up some accessories that I haven't used in the past. I'm going to go with the Excel Landslide sight this year, which Archery Idaho recommended, and so far I'm 100% believer. I love everything about this sight. We are shooting the QAD rest again, which we've shot for years, and there's a reason why. I believe it's the best rest on the market. We've shot some different arrows in the past and some different arrow companies, but this year I went with the Victory VAP SS's, and I can tell you I'm thoroughly impressed. They're shooting like laser beams out of the VTM, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do this fall. Now that the VTM's set up, it's time to go shoot this thing and get it dialed in.
You know that I feel good, doing things I never thought I could. Smiling in the mirror, I look good, like I should. I feel brand spanking new, I don't know about you, I feel good. I'm clocking out, been working hard, I'ma hit the town. I'm at the beach when I'm in the house, I set the seas when I'm on the couch. Got sunshine in the bottle, every time I take a swallow. Like I'm taking a vacation, feeling like I hit the lotto. Whoa, yeah, I'm ready to go, I'm the star of the show. Got that special glow, and you know, yeah. Whoa, yeah, I'm ready to go, I'm the star of the show. Got that special glow, yeah.
Guys, welcome back. Today, me and Logan are up in the hills just outside of Pocatello at the local archery range. We are trying to get ready for the fall because, guys, before we know it or not, it's going to be here. And so we're about less than a month away, or just over a month away, till archery season starts. We've got the bow set up. We're both shooting the VTM 31s this year. I've only shot this bow out to 30 yards, so today I'm going to be shooting, practicing, but also trying to get dialed in. First shot is 44 yards. These targets up here aren't the greatest. They're just bag targets, and some of them are shot out. So there's a bag up here that has a little deer logo on it. I can't really see it with my eyes, but I look through the Ollin, I can see it. I'm gonna try to hit it. Ooh, just low. Bet it's low. Yeah, just low. I held right on. I'm gonna shoot one more real quick, just to make sure it's truly low. Or I'm gonna aim a little higher and hit it. Right above it. One low, one high. It's a little deer. I mean, not too bad for being such a tiny little deer. And not seeing it with your eyes and guessing. Can't believe Logan shot at a yearling though. All right, guys, we've got about 15 more targets to shoot. Come along. We're going to be sighting things in. I'm going to give you some tips on sighting your bow in that will help you out, and see if we can't get these things dialed in and get a little practice. So we got a double shot here, both kind of covered up, but I think what we're going to do is you have to keep your feet in the same spot. You got to shoot this one right here, which, I mean, it's a pretty good open angle into it. There's a tree off to the left side. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, like if you were in your backyard and there was nothing near the target, you would smoke that. But since there's a tree there, people tend to like want to concentrate on the tree. And here's a little tip for you. I've learned when I was younger, when I was trying to learn how to ride a dirt bike on a trail. My buddy would take me out and we'd go ride through all these trails with rocks, and I'd always be hitting the rocks, and he's like, hey, quit looking at the rocks. I'm like, well, I want to see like what not to hit. And he goes, whatever you look at is where your front tire is going to go. So then I started looking like past the rocks or around the rocks and not concentrating on the rocks, and didn't hit the rock. Same with archery. Don't pay attention to the tree, just look at the target, the bullseye. Smoke this thing. Smoked. Well, little high in the bullseye, but smoked. Didn't pay attention to the tree.
Dude, you didn't hit a single branch.
You know why I didn't hit a single branch? I wasn't looking at the branch.
All I can see is branches.
So last year and this year, I went with the UltraView sight. It's just a 2-pin. It's pretty sweet. So you have your top pin, your bottom pin, and then right here it correlates on your slider Like you slide out to 40 for your top pin, whatever your bottom pin is showing is what your bottom pin's gonna hit. Like I said earlier, I use the Archer's Advantage to get this set up. Bunch of different measurements, weights, and lengths of arrows, and it can tell you within a few yards of where your tape will be at. And so that's what we did. My 20 to 30 is super dialed, but anything past that is what today is for, is to try to figure out where I'm hitting at like 40 and 50. But this being a 25-yard shot, should be no problemo. Where'd that hit?
Little low.
Little low?
Yep.
Dude, no branches.
And so, as you can see, this tree, too many people have been concentrating on the tree and not the target. Not bad for the angle we're shooting at. It's within inch and a half. I love those in-between shots, those 24, 25, 32, 46. Typically everyone has 20, 30, 40, 50. And then, you know, unless you're sliding for those specific ranges, it's good to go and shoot those in-between ranges, because an animal's never going to come in and be like, oh wait, I'm 22, hold on, 20, you know.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, yeah, anyway. So it's good to shoot those. That's good to know if you're gonna hold for 20, you know, if it's 24, like exactly how much off do you want to hold, like this far, whatever. Let's go look at this one. This one would be interesting. I don't know how, but both of us didn't even touch a branch.
You freaking hit the red circle.
Money shot. You weren't far off. Let's go to the next one. Hopefully 20 and 30 for me is dialed. I haven't shot past 30, so when we get to those 40s, 50s, I'm gonna really start adjusting my pin. And there's some things that seem super like simple if you just remember, but for whatever reason, every year if you're shooting low, everyone's like, which way do I move my sight? Here's the tip. I'll give you the tip when we get down there and start doing it.
A little bit low right.
So as I suspected, my 40 is just a little bit low, so I'm just gonna move it just a bit. But here's where people get confused, and I do too every year, is when you start adjusting your bow sights, everyone's like, well, which way do I move it? And then you start thinking about science, like, oh, it's just super simple with the bow when you're sighting it in. All you have to do is follow your arrow. So if you're shooting low and to the right, you're gonna move your bow sight low and to the right. As in compared to like a rifle will actually tell you up, right, left, and you just follow that. Just follow your arrow. So I'm shooting just low and to the right. I'm not gonna move it to the right. I think that was just the angle I'm on, but I'm just gonna move it just a little bit low, which will cause me to shoot just a little bit higher, which that's what I need. So this year I'm shooting the Excel landslide. I love it because it's a 5-pin, which that's what I've always really shot. I kind of went to a 3-pin for a few years, but I really like the 5-pin. And then if I need to, I can slide. But so this has the micro adjust. So I just loosen the 40-yard one, which is the third one. And as you can see, this is my 40. I'll just move it just a little bit down. So it's a micro adjust. So obviously that worked. I hit the orange the second time after I adjusted it. What I've just learned on the fly, I was explaining to you how knowledgeable I am about sights and sighting bows in. So my 20 and 30 I knew were dialed. I've shot them in my backyard. My 40 I knew was going to probably be low, so everything else is probably going to be low. So what I did is I just loosened the 40, 50, and 60 yard pin all together, and then I micro adjusted it so it actually moved all the pins I wanted it to. So it moved my 40, my 50, and my 60 all lower because I knew they were going to be low. So 40's on, I would assume my 50 and 60 are pretty darn close. So this
definitely closer.
Yeah, this Excel landslide is pretty rad sight. I like it because it's pretty like user friendly, pretty simple, but it's all very durable. 40 dialed. Let's see where Logi's at.
A little low.
Low.
Same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to shoot two arrow groups out here just to confirm, but
2 to make it true.
2 to make it true. Yeah, I think 20 and 30 are like dead money, and then the rest I think it's just going to be a couple yards off using that Archer's Advantage. But we'll finish the course today and I'll make adjustments after.
So again, we got some brush, but this time the brush is sitting like probably only like a yard or 2 away from the target, so we can barely see the bullseye or the red. We're going to try to shoot through it, and it'll be interesting to see what our arrow does that close to the target. That last one we shot through the brush was like halfway between us and the target. This is like maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards before, so interesting to see what. I guarantee we're going to hit brush on this one. Be interesting to see what happens to the arrow.
That's the dot on the left through this brush. These targets are weird because sometimes the arrows go all the way in, and then sometimes they just stick out.
All right, next shot, 45 yards, which is a good in-betweener. Like I was saying, I'm gonna shoot for the bottom right circle because that's the only one I can see up here. Everything else is covered up by brush.
So this is a good course in the sense that there's a lot of different shot angles and shot opportunities that you would have out in the actual field. Like Casey said earlier, your backyard, just flat grass. Like we're actually shooting across the bottom of this little draw, across a creek, and we're shooting downwards. And something you don't realize unless you keep an eye on your bubble is when you're in the mountains, most likely never gonna take a shot at an animal on a perfectly level surface. So if you look at my feet, I'm actually on like probably a, I don't know, like a 50-degree slope, 60-degree slope. And so I'm kind of staggering my back foot up higher and really watching that bubble. Like on this shot, if you just pull your bow back and look at like your limbs and everything, and you think it's level, you look at your bubble and it's cranked way to the right. And sometimes you'll almost feel like you have your bow canted, but you always got to trust the bubble. Bangering.
So this will be a good one. This is 60 yards on the dot. I micro adjusted my 40, 50, and 60 pin earlier all together. Haven't shot the 60, so let's see where it's at.
All right, 60 yards. So what I've been doing is just kind of moving, been shooting low all day. I'd say about like 4 yards low, 5 yards low. So this is 60, I'm shooting it for 64. So tell me if my theory's right. I'm gonna put myself in the space that that's a big bull elk walking across the canyon. I've never actually shot a bow at an elk. This is what it would be like right here.
So we've shot the whole course. The last target is a moving target. Now it's not obviously realistic. We're not going to shoot at a running animal unless it's wounded, running, or if it's wounded, or if it's charging bear. But what I love about this shot, it's only 20-25 yards, but it really makes you concentrate on everything. It's not moving real fast, but you got to get set up, make sure everything's good. You got to get your pin leveled, you got get your bubble leveled, you got your pin settled. Everything's got to be right, and you're trying to move with the target and swing with it. So it really helps you focus on all those things that you practice in the backyard, just at a little quicker rate. And so it really helps you, I think, when you're out in the woods, if an elk comes in bugling and he stops, to really get all those things that you need to happen before you really pull that trigger. So it just a little speeds everything up. Hand-eye coordination a little bit quicker. So we're gonna shoot this thing a few times, maybe have a little contest, I don't know. But let's shoot the moving target.
All right, so how they have it is like a pull pin. So you just put a pin through and that's what's holding the target up. There's this tether I got around my ankle here, and we're gonna do it so the shooter has to pull it, draw it, and shoot it.
Pretty
got
good.
it.
Pretty good.
Just a little bit left, you have to lead it. So I'm literally pull the target, draw back, find the target, level bubble, set pin, and release. See how we did. So the target is actually a cougar running this way. You can't really see that when it's moving, and since it's so sun bleached, but we got him back of the lungs. Dead cougar. Let's see what Casey's got.
Kick, draw, settle, bang.
A lot of things to think about.
You got this, dude.
Okay, here we go.
You ready? Dude, got him.
I keep shooting for the black thing though, because that's the only thing I can see.
Ooh, that was center mass.
I like this too, because not only are you leveling your bubble, setting your pin, after you do this little funny kick move, you gotta set your feet, man, which is huge. A lot of things I've noticed out archery hunting for elk especially is if you can get your feet set before the bull ever comes in, that's huge. So you feel comfortable, you're level, but also like if you're trying to move when that bull's coming in, good luck, he's gonna see him run.
All right, so we're gonna set up like Logan set up for calling a bull in.
He's right over
I'm the caller, hence the rope. I'm gonna pull this. He's not gonna know exactly, he's gonna see the target. So it's gonna be like a bull coming into the open, and then he's gotta get his bow set, level the bubble the level, and level the bubble.
We're gonna
set the pin, kill the bull.
We're gonna pull him in on a string.
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
There he is, there he is, there he is. Get him. It was a spike, dude.
Tagged out.
It's a branch antler bull, tag only.
Get it? Guys, thanks for watching the video. Just so you guys know, we've kind of changed some things up over here at the Hush channel. We no longer are doing, well, I don't know what you would call it, but it's not like a dedicated vlog where it shows everybody's content from the week into one video. We're doing more one-off videos. So like today, just an archery video. And then on Wednesday, you're gonna get a video probably from the Hush South crew. Let us know if you guys are enjoying it down in the comments below. You know, we're always aiming to please, but we thought that maybe the vlog was getting too confusing with 4 different points of view, and so we wanted to kind of condense everything into just one-off video every week for you guys. Just so you guys know, it's not too late. If you guys have archery tags in your pocket, remember we sell wraps and vanes at gethushin.com. It's not too late to order some up and get your arrows did. I just went and picked these ones up, and I love them. I'm calling these the orange sickles. This is where dreams are made.
And the Grim Reaper uses a sickle.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.